Yo, what's going on, your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing us another comparison video between the P90 and MP5. Now, before we get into it, I want to give you guys a big thank you for 400 subscribers. Your guys' support over these last 2 months have been crazy, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So now we're on the road for 500 subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you find this video useful or informational, hit that like button. Let's go for 20 likes. I normally never set a like goal, but for this one, let's try to hit 20 likes. I know you guys can do it. You guys have been great, and yeah, let's get into the comparison. Now, I know a lot of you guys might think that the MP5 is just extremely better than the MP90. I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily true. Again, these videos are not to put a weapon over the other. It's just to simply match them up to show you that, for example, a P90 could be a great secondary just as good as an MP5. And both these weapons are completely different in terms of meta. One weapon is extremely used, while the other one is rarely used. Now, I will say, if some of you guys who have watched my videos, I made an MP7 and P90 video. At the time of me making that video, I have rarely seen P90s with people using them as loadouts. From that video, from when I posted that video till today, I've seen more P90s with people's loadouts. Now, I'm not saying that I was the cause of that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that from that short time frame, I have seen more P90s come into play, meaning that a lot more people are giving it a shot and maybe seeing success with it. Now, I personally have seen success with the P90, and I could tell you that it's a pretty good weapon. I would rock it, for fun if I don't want to use MP5. But yeah, actually, in that video that I made of MP7 and P90, I had a class setup that had a barrel that is going to be different than the one you're seeing in this video. And that's the only change to it. I'll get to it when I get to it. But as for the MP5, we're going to get into the recoil pattern now. But as for the MP5, there is a lot of variations of the class setup that you can use. Now, you're going to see my class setup in a few seconds, but my class setup is different than Swag's class setup, Nick Merck's class setup, any other big streamer's class setup. Here's my class setup. It works really well for me. I really like the mobility aspect. I like everything about it. It's a great weapon at close range. Obviously, that's what I want it for. You know what I'm saying? This is what you want the MP5 for. So, for example, I have the F-Tac Collapse. I don't know how to say the stock name. The stock that makes it smaller. And a lot of streamers like Nick Merckx and Swag, they don't like running it because it makes your gun inaccurate. Like, I don't understand it's like they want to beam with it, when in reality the MP5 is supposed to be used for close range weapon or close range combat. And I also have a foregrip, the Commando foregrip. A lot of people like using the Rangers Merc foregrip. I used to use the Merc foregrip. I actually think I'm gonna switch back to the Merc foregrip. I'm not sure, mostly because of the hip fire accuracy. And I didn't really find myself hip firing with the MP5, but when I did, I could see why people rock the Merc. So just because you saw my class setup right there, you're gonna see all these clips of me doing good with it. Don't settle for it. You know what I'm saying? Because the MP5 could be used with a lot of attachments that will still make it good. Now, the one attachment that I will say that you should use is the 45 round mag. Now, I know a lot of people like using the 10mm rounds too, but for Warzone, honestly, I didn't believe it at first, but honestly, the difference isn't that noticeable. Like, 45 round mags is just as good as the 10mm rounds. And since switching over to it, I have not really missed them. I still think I beam. And keep in mind, I have used a normal MP5 in Warzone. Like the CDL MP5 I've used in Warzone, and it's brought me success. But this one has also brought me a lot of success, and I can confidently tell you that the 45 round mag is better than the 10mm rounds in Warzone, and it's for many reasons actually. For the 15 extra bullets. And really, I don't feel much of a difference in terms of damage. Obviously, the statistics gonna say that it raises damage, which is true, obviously. But I don't, I just don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel it. And honestly, I don't think you'll miss it if you give the 45 round mag a try. And I would suggest it to you. I'll recommend it to you because, hey, if you're stubborn to change it, I was too. At one point, I was like, man, there's no way that the 45 was better. But it actually is. And that's the only attachment that I will recommend to you of using on your MP5. The one that my class setup, take that with a grain of salt because, like I said, there's like 20 different variations of it. As long as you have the 45 and a good foregrip, it should be okay. But yeah, we're gonna get to the P90 now. Now this is the recoil pattern for the P90. Now earlier in my video I said that I changed one attachment for it, and that was just a simple barrel change. I did it so I can adapt to a close quarter situation, so I made it more suitable to fight in close quarters. That's the only like thing I really have changed for it. That's like the only, like, see, here's my class setup. Honestly, that's the class setup you want to be running. Like with the MP5 you could probably change like 10 different attachments on that thing and it'll still be good. I think with the P90 it's a lot more limited to the range of attachment that you could use on it, and you know, but honestly I wouldn't know any more class setups because big streamers and none of them, no one's using them, so I don't know if certain attachments will work or not. And you know, the only reason I bring up big streamers though is because obviously in my opinion they have a big influence on when it comes to class setups and when it comes to weapons being in meta. But that's like for another. I'm not even trying to get too deeply into that. But that's what I believe. But one thing I will say about the P90 is the movement of it and the way you slide cancel and all that. Dude, it's not better than MP5. I don't care what the statistics say. It could say that it has better movement, control, whatever, mobility than the MP5, bro. Let me tell you, bro, something, bro. Nothing is touching an MP5 when it comes to slide canceling, running, bunny hop, bro. The MP5 feels so smooth with the movement in this game. It's insane. That's one of the reasons I love running the MP5, and that's one of the reasons I like running the FTAC stock, because without that stock, I can't really like slide cancel run as fast without like with the normal stock, with the base stock. And that's one of the reasons again why I like running the FTAC. But for the P90, yeah, you could run slide cancel. It's not bad, but I just prefer MP5 mobility over the P90. Now, when it comes to damage and all that other stuff, the P90 has more range than the MP5 for sure. But again, you're not using these weapons for range. But you know, they both have decent range. The P90 having a little bit more range than the MP5, I believe. I'm not sure if the stat heads want to get on me. Yeah, let them get on me. When it comes to fire rate, I believe, from what it sounds like, if you like hear the way these guns fire, I believe the P90 has a faster fire rate than the MP5. But honestly, I think that the damage is slightly higher on the MP5 than it is on. No. Actually, I looked at it in game. The damage is the same for both these weapons, which is crazy. It doesn't feel like it, but they're both the same. According to the game, base MP5, base P90 both have the same damage. Now, when you add the 10 millimeters, which again I don't really suggest, obviously the MP5 is gonna have more damage than the P90, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend using that, because in Warzone, any clip less than like 45 is, bro, be careful. Just be careful. That's all I gotta say. Just be careful. But yeah, like I said, the P90 is a very good alternative to the MP5. If you want to use it, go be my guest. I actually highly recommend you should use it, because man, you probably bored of using MP5, MP7, maybe not. For all you sweaties out there like myself, give it a try. You know what I'm saying? I know it might be hard to not be able to run on the MP5, growl, you know, go drop your 20, 30 kills a game, you know, blah, blah, blah. But just give it a try, P90, man. Like, spice it up a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? Show that you could diversify in your weapons. Because I've sat here and used all sorts of weapons, and you know, I found success with them. I've dropped high kill games with them. Like, I'm still just the same aggressive player with just a different weapon, but they don't really fail me. The only weapon that I felt that somewhat been disappointing is the Bison. But if you look back at all my comparison videos, right, you see all the guns that I compared, you know, the meta weapons to, or just all the guns I compared in general. I've used all those weapons, and I found a lot of success with them. Maybe it's because of the player that I am, my skill set, but I feel like even the average player could use these weapons and get kills with them. And get wins, you know. Actually, wins don't really matter on the weapons, to be honest with you. Like, you can use an ass weapon, but if you have, for example, if you're sitting on top of a mountain, right, and the other dudes are running up to you, bro, like, if you can't beam them, bro, you need to hang up the sticks, or you need to start improving, or you need to do something, bro. But more than likely, most of y'all could beam someone running up to you when you're on the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's situations that no matter what weapon you have, you're still gonna kill somebody. But I guess in the base, like, general, like, I guess, engagement that you get, I guess, then yeah, some loadouts would be better than the others. But you know what I'm saying? I think it all comes down to skill set and I guess the, what's it called, the potential of a weapon. So like, if a weapon is severely underpowered, I don't think anybody, like, you know, it's bad. But if a weapon is closely in damage to all the other weapons, it has potential to be just as good as those weapons. And that's exactly what the P90 has. I think it's just as good as the MP5. But the only reason why it's not in meta or it's not really talked about is because, for one, I guess people find the MP5 a little better. And honestly, I think it's because of the movement aspect. Honestly, I picked the MP5 over P90 because of movement. That's just how it is. Like, it all comes down to movement for me. I love being fast, like I said. But one of the reasons I think that the P90 isn't talked about that much is because of streamers. Now, a lot of you guys might feel this way like I do, but I think streamers have a big influence when it comes to weapons being used and weapons being a meta and certain class setups being used. I believe that's how like streamers influence, and I'm guilty of it too because streamers have influence in me to use certain class setups and weapons, and they work. Like this class setup that I had, the Growl, is from another streamer because I saw their success with it. I wanted to try it out, and it's been great. So I'm like, streamers, like, for the most part, know what they're doing. Especially if they're good, they know what they're doing, so they know what they're talking about. But like them highlighting certain weapons and class setups, they like kind of sheds, or it kind of puts all the other weapons to like a back burner. So the four base weapons that you can think of when it comes to Warzone, the Growl, M4, MP7, MP5, all those weapons overshadow every other single weapon in the game. Like, think about it, bro. There's how many, like 7, 8, 9 ARs in the AR category? How many are really used? 2 of them. 2 out of 9, or however many there are being used on a daily basis, constantly, frequently. Same with the SMGs. For the most part, it's 2 SMGs that run that category. Now, I have seen the emergence of the AUG. I have friends who use it, and I'm going to use it for my next video. So that's a little sneak peek of my next video. It's going to be the AUG versus, I want to say MP5. I'm going to do MP5 because, again, MP5 is a meta. AUG is shit, bro. AUG is nasty. But like I said, man, that P90, I believe one of the reasons why it's not in meta is because of streamer influence and because of people not wanting to give it a shot because they're too scared to steer away from their MP7, MP5. But I'm here to tell you that P90 is a very good and reliable weapon. I will give you a 95% chance or percent that it won't disappoint you. And if it does disappoint you, I apologize. I don't know. I think it's a good weapon. So if you don't think I'm a reliable source, I have 4.2 KD, just not trying to flex, but I'm just saying I feel like I'm reliable. I know what I'm talking about. But let me know your experiences down below with each of these weapons. I specifically your P90 experiences, would like to hear them. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later, and I'll leave you with the rest of this gameplay.
20 grand well spent.
That one. Down, got them both. One guy's pushing us.
Gas is inbound.
That one.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply. Friendly UAV overhead.
One more. Where's the other guy?
Homie.
Get him, yeah, it's good.
Killed him.
It's good. I have 23.
Teamwork.
Allied cluster strike inbound.
Got him.
Win. Proper job.
I got 25.
Good shit, guys.